Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show. With monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Mike from Dance Time in Texas. Join me Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. as I count down the top 10 Texas Red Dirt songs that are packing the dance floor. I'll be featuring local artists and the story behind the hits, shows in the area, as well as new songs that make you want to dance. It's Dance Time in Texas with DJ Mike on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC, Conroe, Texas, or online, irlonestar.com.
Joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show on Lone Star Community Radio. Oh, you do a song that rhymes. We're so happy to have you. It is so hot outside. I hope you're all inside on your computer watching us, or on YouTube, or the Facebook of Lone Star Community Radio, and just just chilling. That's all we need you to do, because we're just going to have a chilled kind of show today, because it's just Richard and I. Is that right? Richard and I, or Richard and me? Richard, I
believe it's Richard and I.
Richard and I, good. Okay. And, this is Ask Me Anything. And I figured up that, Richard, we have 112 years of life on Earth between us. So that now he's calculating. Is that right? It is right? Just go with it. I know who contributed the most time on Earth is me. But there was a listener that was talking about how funny it is to listen to us try and talk to each other and communicate about certain things, because there's such a vast age difference between us. And so it's fun to ask him different questions about things, or you can ask me about questions about anything, because I've been around so much longer than Richard. But Richard does have his own special take on things. And sometimes he interjects, and I'm always the target. Look at the shirt I have on.
Yeah, that's not a target, that's a shield.
It is a target. That's what they shoot at.
That's not. That's a Captain America's shield.
I know, but don't they shoot at it?
It's not a target.
What?
It's not a target. Yeah, good try. This show is brought to you by Wootton Financial Group.
I was getting
for all your future financial planning. Please contact Chris Wootton at the Wootton Financial Group. You can call them at 936-449-5952 or visit them online at woottonfinancial.com. Thank you so much to the Wootton Financial Group for supporting the Cindy Cochran Show.
Boy, do we thank you. We thank you so, so much, because if it wasn't for you, the mic would go. That's it. That's all you'd hear. And it wouldn't be here. But we're here to bring you some entertaining things, mostly from my side, and then some, ridiculous stuff that Richard just pops in his head and he says it, and then I have to try and, smooth it over, because if people believed everything he said about me, they would never listen to this show. Our numbers would really go down. That would be terrible. Do you know that Mindy Miller, one of Elvis's last girlfriends, and she did a couple of interviews with us, and then we just replayed the interview. She has over 9,000 listeners to that interview, views to that
Cool.
interview. Isn't that amazing? I mean, it's, I just told Bob Smiley he brought the most people, but I got to have
Oh, it's funny. I saw over the weekend some guy jumped Elvis's fence to his pool and jumped in his pool at Graceland.
Oh,
So some guy got in trouble.
you don't mess that at all, because usually that's so well guarded. You wouldn't be surprised that would happen. But remember Phyllis Ledbetter came on the show. It's one of my bestest friends, and she came on the show, and she's a big NASCAR fan and all that, and just an interesting person. She really is. She goes everywhere. She drives a big RV, and huge RV, and goes different places, and goes and follows the NASCAR drivers and does all that. Well,
Sounds like a lot of fun.
She was here when we very first started over here. She came on, and remember there was a bomb scare. She was supposed to be here, and I called her, and she says,
yeah.
"I'm sorry, there was a bomb scare. I've got to stay here in my office." So anyway, she went to Graceland, and she got into the Elvis, stuff when the movie came out and all that. And she went, and I knew it. I knew if she went, this is what she would be doing. She would be getting a private tour around Graceland. She got to go to places that most people don't get to go to that are on the tour. And she just talked her way through it, just by going up and talking about what a fan I am and all that stuff, and endeared herself to the people there. And she got to go get a private tour, And
Cool.
she's that kind of
Yeah.
person.
Because we actually talked a little bit about visiting old, like, classic areas on Audience 01 with Andrew.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, it's like, growing up with my father being a huge history guy, we went to like Mount Vernon, and we went to, I went to Thomas Jefferson's like loft or whatever he hung out in. And then, I'm trying to think, John, is it Madison? John Madison? Is it John Madison? Or John Adams. John Adams
Yes.
and Abigail, we visited their
Right.
house. And I was like, this is so creepy
Well,
to be here, because it's like it's some guy's job or lady's job to make sure this is what it kind of looks like when they were there. I'm like, is it really how it looked like? Do we have photographic evidence of like this is how he did his pins or his feathers and where's the latrine and all that kind of stuff? And it was just funny to me because like they try to, it's like a tourist trap.
oh, sure.
So
That was always. I just believed everything. I just believed the indention in the seat was where they sat. And when I went to Ford Theater, did you go to Ford Theater when you were in Washington?
maybe you mean where he was shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went there?
I think I've been there.
That was just amazing. And I went to the basement. They have the museum of him in the basement, and they have this little box
Take a selfie with him.
with his hair.
Take a selfie.
No,
Yeah.
no. I did with that big statue. I went like,
Well, I mean, because I kind of want to look up the strangest museum that you wouldn't, because I know there's a couple museums like in London, you can take a tour of Jack the Ripper and like see
Oh,
where
where
they
he went
apparently
and killed-
murdered all these people. I was like, that's
Yay.
kind of weird.
that's cool.
But there's different things. Like I remember we went on a tour in Charleston, and it was like the first jail there, but the jail that was under in a basement.
Yeah.
And so when it would flood, the first thing that would flood is the jail. And they wouldn't let people out. So it's just like they would always have deaths in their jail. And I'm talking like, post-Revolutionary War.
Right.
But it's just funny to me. I was just like, all right, that's just one way.
That's one way
that's
to-
one way to do it. And then
Get rid of the jail population. That would be, have more room for everybody. But the thing, this museum with Abraham Lincoln, they had someone had cut part of his hair when he was, they took him across the street.
right. It was kind of like going to religious places too. Like I can't imagine going to like Jerusalem and just how touristy it is.
Oh man.
Because I never like once looked into it, but I imagine there's some touristy things to it, and it's like the Wailing Wall, like that actually has like a real purpose.
Right.
But
right.
then now it's just like, why would I need to go there?
But
when you visit it, it's like all these people taking pictures with it.
but here's the grave. We know this is the grave.
We think.
And we know this is where Jesus was born in Bethlehem.
We needed to install a bathroom. So we needed to move the grave because there wasn't any running water or anything over here. So we moved it like a couple times to make sure people had a bathroom to go in before they... Because people think they can just go in the grave.
Well, people would, you're expecting something to, like angels' voices going in as you
you been?
walk in. No, I'm saying I would go to, I'd look at videos and watch videos of the tourist and going in and all. But it's so plain and, it's kind of rusted a little bit. So I'm going like, y'all, this is terrible.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is it's funny that like certain areas, just because they're rich and old or just old, we got to make it a preserved spot.
But usually, though, you are so disappointed because it's a lot smaller that your imagination imagines. Like everything you watch on TV, you see it.
Oh, the big
you
boulder.
You think it's going to be
whatever?
real big. And
well, that's kind of truth. That's kind of the true story about Jesus and everything.
What do you mean?
They blow it out of proportion. Like you think he turned water into wine for like 5,000 people?
Not 5,000,
No.
but it was a wedding, and
It was probably just a couple jars.
And you think they all shared it? No, I think he did more.
He
than
probably gave COVID to everybody because he put his hands in that stuff, and it's just like, come on,
forgive
man.
him, for
Come
he
on.
knows not what he talks about. No, you have to. You
Like
have to
I always
think about-
I always imagined that when you fed the 5,000, the 10,000 people, that classic story.
right.
I always imagined the leftover food, and it's just
Yeah.
kind of like, who's taking care of this? Not Jesus. He's already gone. He's one of those guys. He's like the CEO of companies. I provided it. I don't take care of it,
That's right.
and just leaves. And there's like, man, we got 15 baskets of rotten fish. What are we supposed to do? And no one thinks about it.
You have to fry it up, and
Yeah, they definitely fried things back then.
yeah. You don't think they did?
I think they did a little bit, but not like the way
I
we
think they
think
put
of.
the fish over something and over a fire. Yes.
I have no idea.
Oh well.
I'm not going to imagine what they ate then. I know.
Don't, yeah, your imagination just goes crazy.
But
he did turn the water into wine.
yeah, but it's
And
not like
and he argued with his mom. His mom said, "Would you do this?" And he goes, "Woman, it's not my time to do this." And he
think
says,
I'm just good for parlor tricks.
and she just turned around and tells the servants and said, "Just whatever he says to do it." And then she walked away.
Yeah, but I mean,
And that
it's not
was-
like he did 15,000 gallons of wine. He probably
Well, I don't think there was that many people.
Yeah,
How
that's
do you
what
know
I'm
there's
saying.
that many people at the wedding?
I'm just saying everyone blows it out of proportion. That was the original comment I had.
No, well, I think the feeding of the 5,000 was true.
Maybe.
Think
I mean, no. Do you think they did a head count?
the feeding of the 5,000.
Do you think they did a head count?
Yeah, I'm sure there were people counting. Look how many people
And
here.
that 5,001 person,
Will-
tough luck, dude. You weren't here
will never-
beforehand. You think that 5,001 person would be like, what the heck? I heard there was free food. Not for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that everybody was provided for.
Well, I
And
also
it's
think
fine.
they use that term 5,000 because back in the day, that's like a lot more people than ever people would think. So it's like, it's got to be a lot of people. We got to write down a lot of people. But how do we say a lot of people? Well, 5,000 is a big number. Mm-hmm. But like today's 5,000 is not a big number. Because like
Richard-
we hang out in coliseums and like we go
Yeah.
so it's like, oh, there's 40,000 people in this.
Right.
So 5,000 is not much.
I worked on
'Cause-
a concert with a lot of Christian acts, and it was going to be the leaders at this thing asked our production company to shoot it and preserve it and all that stuff, and so we go and I said, "Where are you having this event?" And they said, "At the Rice University at their stadium." I said, "How many people that's that hold?" And she said, "We're going to have 70,000 people there." And I went, "You're going to have 70,000? Well, when we set the stage, how are you envisioning the stage? Because they'll have their back all on the other side. So 35,000 people on each side in that stadium.
Yeah.
And she said, well, we'll do big screens for the other side, and so order big screens. So I got the big screens. Now, I didn't know how many, the way they talked was like they'd done these concerts like before and stuff. But it was all done on faith. She said, we're going to pray.
I like this.
We're going to pray, and we have to have the grounds have to be finished and ready to go. And I said, wait, we're still setting up the stage. Well, the stage, because we have to consecrate the land.
Oh my gosh!
And I said,
only one person can do that.
And so the pastor was going to come.
They're not going to be there until 8 p.m.
Yeah, the pastor's supposed to come do this, and I said, okay, I think God's bigger than what you think He is, because I think it's going to be okay.
Okay.
I think we can pray over this land, but we've got to get this thing built. And if you want them to have a stage and all this, it has to be built now. And she says, well, I'll have to go talk to the pastor about that. And so he came back, and the pastor says, yeah, let's go ahead, and we'll do it all around it. We'll consecrate all. I said, all right. So
what's hilarious about that is something bad happens inside of that. It's like, oh, that's because we didn't bless it.
Well, they kept coming up and asking me, because the person who was leading this, who started all of this, got Rice University and all that, was overwhelmed by the bands. Oh, these were all in the top 10,
yeah.
And all.
So did 75,000 people show up?
No, maybe 3,000.
That's sad.
Yeah, and it was sad. But she left. She left, and just walked out.
So it was all scam.
No. She walked out because it was just overwhelming for her, and so I was like second in command, and so they all came to me and asked me like, What's going to happen if we rain? Is it going to rain? Do you know what the weather is? Have you found out what the weather is yet? What if this starts raining? Then I'm not going to put my stuff out there at all. And I said, look, hang on just a second. So I got my phone. I said, okay, God, listen, are you planning to have any kind of rain happen here at Rice Stadium? And they go, that's not funny. It's not funny at all. And they'd walk away. And I'd never seen ego. I understand egos. But these bands were so egotistical about things. And I kept saying, you guys are Christian bands. And listen to you fighting over stuff and arguing over things. Y'all can't do this. You cannot do this. And so I was so glad when that night was over. I couldn't believe it. And she called later and said, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't take it. I was so upset. And the K-Star came out. They were there, and all these, but they only filled up like that much of a huge thing. And they wouldn't open the other side finally to let people in way over there because it wasn't going to happen. So everybody sang, and, came across, it was fine. And the people that were there enjoyed it a lot. But it was, when you're going to do something like that, and you say you're going to have 70,000 people there, and I start questioning, how are you marketing this? And she says, well, K-Star's going to tell everybody about it, and it's going to be word of mouth, and we're going to pray about it. And I said, I think that faith is wonderful, but there's 70,000 people is a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it was a learning experience. I was like,
oh, did you see what happened at Burning Man?
yes,
Yeah.
I felt so sorry for them because I said,
I think
know.
there's more than 70,000 people there stuck.
Oh
well, what's strange to me about that too is, and if the audience doesn't know what Burning Man, it's like a festival thing in the middle of the desert, right? So the amenities are very rare, or you have to bring your own amenities, kind of thing.
Right.
I've always been kind of surprised that they never had rain or anything before.
I guess
Because
not.
I know they had bad storms, but I'm like, I
Right.
feel like that concert thing or whatever you want to call it, festival's been going on for so long that you think one year it would have rained, and they learned, oh hey, this is what we need to do if it rains.
Yeah, but they didn't advertise it that way in the beginning because they
Well, it's in the
advertised
desert.
it like they're going to have all this stuff there. And
No, that's Fire Festival. You're thinking something different.
That's what.
So Burning Man is just like honestly I don't know if it's an organized event to the point where like sponsors are there. I thought it was more of like a commune kind of thing. Like everyone just hangs out in the desert and they bring their own buses and it's like art and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I have a buddy that went and he was stuck there for like 10 days.
Oh no.
So I'll talk to him tomorrow and I'll find out exactly what the point of because at first I thought it was like an organized thing where you have bands and you're doing that. But I don't think it is. I think it literally is just a bunch of people hanging out in the desert. And like you might be able to find like a group that you can pay to go with and they'll provide food and stuff. But I don't think there's like an organized thing brought to you by T-Mobile or something like that. I think it's like legit.
Everybody was on. You're on your own.
You're dealing with yeah. So I'm saying I think everybody literally was on their own. It wasn't like one of those things where.
And they'd had this before, and they okay.
I mean,
you're saying I'm talking about the fire
festival.
Well, I'm talking about they burned the man.
Yeah, it's probably the same thing. Here, I'm trying to pull it up. Let's see. They call it the Burning Man Project.
Yes. Yeah, we're talking about the same thing.
So it looks like a nonprofit. You can donate.
It reminds you of Woodstock. I mean, that's what it reminds me of.
Well, that's what I think it is. Yeah, it's a nonprofit project. Yeah.
And see, you weren't even born when Woodstock came up. And that's all we saw was video of that during all that time. They kept showing everything that they were doing, and they couldn't show everything they were doing.
Looks like it started in 1986.
It started in 86?
Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing.
But again, I always thought at one point it would have rained. And so they know, like, oh, hey, this is how we have to help people. But I guess a lot of people who go there don't really know a lot about.
Well, this one guy said, a lot of these people are driving RVs, these big RVs, and they don't really know how to drive them except on a freeway. They could do that. But they were hitting each other and banging into each other trying to get out of there because they couldn't control. There was no way to control it. And I thought, oh, what a mess. And what a mess to clean up. Who does that?
I mean, I imagine this nonprofit. But yeah.
Well, unless they're what are they selling to make money?
I think it's no, I don't know. I think there might be like the nonprofit might organize it where you get parking spots and everything and you pay like, oh, you have an RV, it's $1,000.
Oh.
I'll find out more from my buddy.
Yeah. Oh, can we have him on the show?
I'll see if he wants to come on. He lives in Houston though.
Well,
so
you don't think he wants to come on?
Well, he has a job, Cindy.
Well, they can let him off from 2 or 3.
I'll ask him.
And we'll let him advertise where he works. Where does he work?
I think some financial firm.
Okay. Oh, well, we can't have conflict of interest.
Yeah. So.
He can't talk about that.
Maybe he works for Curse Wootton. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Never asked.
You never know.
I always do that with my buddies. I never ask.
What they do?
Well, it's like my mom I always remember growing up, and my mother always gave me a hard time because she's like, "Oh, how's this person? How's this person? How's this person?" I'm like, "I don't know." And then, like, we just hung out with them. Yeah, we had fun. And it's like, well, how are they doing? Like,
why?
Where do they work? How are their kids? Oh, they seem fine.
Why do you want to be the typical man? Because everybody jokes about that. Is that they go and they spend all this time with this person, they come back, and the wife says, "So how was Mary?" She says, "Okay."
We had a great time. She seemed fine. She smiled a lot. There you go. Diet looks good. You want me to bring a stool sample next time and we can figure it all out?
That is so gross. No,
but yeah,
if she said
like I'm pretty sure. Like I don't know. Just thinking about it, I'm pretty sure I don't know the names of the businesses or companies or whatever my friends work for. Like I know one of my friends is a lawyer. Couldn't tell you what law firm he works for. Couldn't tell you.
But they all know that you're in radio, right?
Well, yeah, because I've been doing this for so long, and it's like the radio station. They don't even probably know the name. It's like, oh, it's the radio station.
Do they listen
That's
to
Lone
your
Star
show?
Community Radio. Download our app today on Apple and Google.
What?
Download our app. We have an app, Cindy. Cindy doesn't even
I know we have.
Cindy doesn't even know.
Yes, I know we are being heard all over the world, right?
Again, so you don't even know.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. Whoever is listening, you're important to us. And here's the deal.
That's such a like a halfway caring statement.
What?
Like, well, you're important to us, whoever you are out there.
You are, because if you weren't listening or watching, Dennis O'Connor,
well, they can comment right now live on Facebook. Just
Joe
leave Lone Star
Kennedy.
Community Radio.
Yeah, well, there's people that will.
We just have to create more controversy to get more people like that. Mindy Miller, we just got to call her the last girlfriend.
Yeah, man.
And instead of one of the last girlfriends, and then it's all over. We're getting hate mail. We got hate mail.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, let's do that again. Let's get her on.
His fans are so fanatical that they knew when that came up on the screen, it said his last girlfriend, Mindy Miller. They started, calling her all kind of names. You're not the last girlfriend, and how dare you try and take that position. And she said, I didn't do it. So she starts calling me, and I call Richard. You got to take that off of there and just say one of the last girlfriends. I mean, that was the truth, one of the last girlfriends. And he just...
Well, I like how you say you need to take this off. I'm like, well, you're the one that wrote that.
No. I wrote one, and you said I took one out because it couldn't fit all the words in there. Remember?
I don't remember that. I remember I did everything right.
No, that's not true. I'm right. You're right.
So did you have a good Labor Day?
I don't know. I slept all the way through everything. Everything.
Perfect time to do it.
It was, and it was so funny because I get up early with the kids to take them to school. And so I'm so excited when there's not something I have to get up that early for anymore. And so when Labor Day came, and I remember my body clock goes, get up. You got to get up, and you got to go wake up this one and then wake up the other one and get the lunch made and all that. And I just didn't listen to it. It was horrible. But do you have a good body clock? Like, do you wake up right before the alarm goes off?
It just depends.
If
I go to bed early, I'm going to wake up really early. But if I go to bed late, I'll still wake up somewhat early. But
were you awake last night when I called? I texted you.
Yeah, like at 12:30, I texted you back.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I looked up and I went, well, I didn't know if did that wake you up? When you get a text.
Yeah, why would you text me at 12:30?
I didn't mean to do that.
That's what
at
email's
12:30. I didn't, but I texted you. I was trying to let you know.
So
I was trying to let you know
I need
something.
to set some ground rules for a lot of these hosts. They keep calling me like after 7 p.m. and I'm like, just email the station. Like,
man, you're in the entertainment business. It's all hours. You don't have any.
No, I get it. Y'all disregard what I do.
Totally, exactly.
I still think my favorite one is you call me on Wednesday nights every Wednesday, and I'm like, what do you think I'm doing right now? I do this every Wednesday night. I'm bowling.
You're bowling. I can't remember your schedule, but
it's every Wednesday.
Okay, but now it's different.
You know what, something happened that was a scary thing that happened. Like I think I'll say it was last week. So I was chatting with my mother, and she started saying like, "You're bowling a whole lot," and I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, like I kind of noticed that you bowl a whole lot. Like you're up at that bowling alley a whole lot." And I go, "Well, I work there to help them out sometimes, so it's not like I'm bowling every day."
Mm-hmm.
And then that's exactly what my ex-wife would always say. And I'm like, I'm not bowling every night up there. Like I'm literally making money while doing stuff. Like I'm helping them out.
Right.
And I'm working there at night. Like I was like, I bowl one day a week. That's one recreational day a week. But that turns into you're bowling every night.
Every night.
So I kind of had that. I was like, I guess that's a woman thing. Because like the fact that my mom mentioned it and then my ex-wife always got mad at me about that, I was like, man.
And then my host would call me. But I was ever mad. I was just trying to tell you something.
Well, the thing I learned from that after talking to my mom about that, I was like, I should just never work where I play. Because people don't understand the difference, but apparently. Mm-hmm. Apparently they don't understand the difference.
Oh. Yeah.
So I was like, I almost got mad at my mother because all those, those emotions from the ex-wife. I'm like,
The same.
hey,
Oh, that's
come on,
funny.
like let's be realistic here. Do you want me to paste my schedule on the fridge? working, hosting a tournament, working, playing.
Oh, yes.
One day a week, playing.
See, I know.
But
But
see,
she loves you. and
well,
she
no,
doesn't
I
want
think
you
what
to
I'm
do so
gonna,
much.
what I've learned from that whole experience is I'm just gonna get mad at people for what they want to do, just to get mad. Like when you call me after 8, I'm like, don't ever call me after 8. I'm just gonna get mad about it
You're gonna.
because you call me all the time after 8,
Yeah.
all the time. I'm gonna get mad about it.
There you go. That would be perfect because you know how hard that hurts my feelings so bad. I can tell in your text when you text back, especially when you just put a Y there instead of yes or an N there instead of no. But it's like one time you said something to me and I was like, okay, I want to say okay, and I just put K because it's like, all right, if you're going to be snarky, then fine, K, okay. And that's
Well, no, what I love are the thumbs up. Those are always my favorite responses.
but to see, and I
Because
put-
it's like, well, again, texting is the worst way to actually like effectively communicate.
Oh, I agree.
And that's why you shouldn't text at 12:30 at night. About, what's funny is it's always, I would say about 90% of our text messages, you could just easily emailed it to the station.
Yeah, but I don't know when you look at that.
I look at it every morning and before I go to bed every night to make sure I don't miss anything.
Okay, you look at it before you go to bed.
Yeah,
Okay. When do you go to bed?
whenever I want.
Okay. Well, see, I don't know when to. Then I'm not going to bother you, but
See, emailing not bothering me.
No, I needed you to know that before, so that you knew that
No,
I had.
okay. I want to tell this to the
had
whole
shows.
audience here. You're gonna love this. So for about, I would say a month, a month and a half, I told everyone that had a show on Thursday and Friday, I'm out of town. It's my best friend's birthday. I'm going out of town. It's like way in advance, just letting everyone know.
He did.
And I kid you not, every week after I said that to everybody, hey, is it this week you're going out of town? No, it's the 7th and 8th of September. And Cindy, I kid you not, you asked me at least 3 weeks in a row leading up to this. Oh, is it this weekend you're going out of town? Is it Labor Day weekend you're going out of town? No, it's the 7th and 8th. And you know what Cindy texted me last night? Oh, hey, I have a tentative guest for Thursday on the 7th.
But explain what I said after. I said I put
And I was like, I almost wanted to say,
no.
yeah, sure. I almost wanted to be like, yeah, that sounds great. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then at 3 o'clock on Thursday, I'm not here. And you're going to be like, where is he? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm out of town.
No,
I almost wanted to do it.
I put and pending. I put pending.
But why would you even pin it if you know I'm going to be out of town?
I wasn't sure, but I knew if I pinned it was
So that's
pending.
what,
You were going to
so
tell.
that's what I love.
you were
So
gonna come back and say-
instead of writing it down that when I'm out of town, you're just going to test the waters every week leading up to the day that I'm going out of town. It's like, oh, let's see if it's going to be this week. I never originally wrote it. I never actually read what he wrote. I just know he's going out of town eventually. So
That's well, yeah. It should have been more.
yeah, I love
I'm
it.
sorry,
I loved it. I was
but-
like, I started laughing when you sent that, and I was sitting there going, this lady. Like, I almost want to have one of those AI robots follow her around to, like, just bark at her. Like, Cindy. Just as a reminder, 7th and 8th.
And that's so I come in today and I go, what did I said something like so stupid.
Oh, my
Oh,
gosh.
so if you, oh yeah, that's right. You're going to be out the 7th and 8th. Right, yeah. And I was asking you about, I was going to bring lunch.
No, you came in. No, you literally came in today, and you go, "How was your
Oh, yeah,
weekend in
that's what I
Austin?"
did. I ask you
And
how
I look
was
at you, and I'm
Austin.
like, "This lady. I don't know if she's like testing me, or it's just like, should I call a doctor?"
I had a Bidenism, but
No, it's called McConnellism now.
oh, that's so sad. That is so sad to watch him. How uncomfortable that is when he's just talking and then he.
And we
And
we get
that's
there. We get there sometimes. We all get there. It's like I'm kind of tired of this crap. Let me tell you, I went gambling on Friday.
Oh,
It was the second time I've ever gambled.
Oh,
And it
only
was-
the second time?
Yeah. My buddy took me out, and it was a lot of fun.
How much money did you lose?
All my money. All my money I brought.
How much did you bring?
I'm not going to tell how much money I have. Not even is that's rude to say. I don't want to put people out and not understanding what kind of lifestyle I'm living. Okay, it's kind of, it's one of those things.
Okay, so you had $25 just to lose.
Oh,
and-
no, it was enough to, because I was up, and then I had too much fun, and then I was like, oh, I don't have any more money.
And you just
It was so much fun, though. I loved
to-
it. The people there were insane. That was really wild to me. Like, one of the craziest things is right when you get into Louisiana, there's all these billboards.
Did you go to Cochran?
We went to Lake Charles, and like all the billboards are like this really appealing. Come gamble, come and then at the bottom it says gambling problem. Call this phone number. And I'm sitting there going like, that's really funny that the state or somebody, or maybe it's a federal thing, I don't know, like makes you put that on there.
Right.
And then, but it's like, come visit here. But if you have a problem, you need to call this phone number.
That's right. See, I went to Vegas, and my sister and I took my mother and dad to Vegas. They'd never been anything like that. And so we get in the cab, and we're talking to the cab driver, and we said, where would you take somebody that does not want to see any nudity, they don't believe in gambling, and they just want to see a show that would be really, family
I imagine
friendly.
that's there.
And this was a long time ago. And the cab driver says,
Oh,
so I
did
said, so
you-
where would you take us? And she said, back to the airport, because you're not going to find anything like that.
I want to
here."
say it's either, yeah. So like, if you visit Vegas.com, which I think is the official like Visitors Bureau website,
Yeah.
if you go to it, they don't segregate like, oh, clean show, bad show. It's just like we have all these shows. So if you like scroll through their website,
Oh,
it's pretty crazy. Like you'll see Cirque du Soleil. Oh, cool. And then it'll say like adult only. David Copperfield. Cool. Adults only.
oh, it's
Blue-
adults only for them. Huh?
Yeah. No, it's just funny. Like they advertise it all the same. It's never, because a lot of times you think, oh, we don't want to show the night, like the adult shows
Yeah.
until they click like 3 links to find
Into it and find
find it. But now it's just like, no, we're gonna, whatever's happening that weekend, we're putting everything we got going on that weekend.
We took them to some show that we thought was family friendly because of the way it was described.
Yeah.
And there's all these guys come out, and they're dancing around, and then they start taking off their clothes, and they have got thongs on, and they're bending over with their bottoms sticking out. And my dad, and I am dying. And my dad, after we finished that show, I went, so Dad, what'd you think? He said, I think I just got mooned 300 times.
Yeah.
That was
Well, see, like right here, you
ridiculous.
can see this. So we have All Motown, which is probably a fun show to go to.
Yeah.
Right above it, Fantasy, the strip's sexiest tease. So it's just funny. Like they don't care. They're like, whatever. I want to say this is their official website.
You think that is?
No, I really think it's Vegas.com. So whoever's running that,
Well, you just have to be very careful. But there's the rides and all that stuff now. Because when we went,
is there a big church scene there? I imagine there is.
a church theme or a church?
Like scene, because I imagine there's a lot of like friction with gambling. So they're like, oh, we're called
Oh, yeah.
to be there to tell, like, warn people about the gambling
we went to
and
a-
like all the temptation. So I imagine there's a big church scene.
we went to a church on Sunday because Rabbi got on Sunday, and we went to a church, and it was so interesting. People were so friendly, so nice, but it was right outside of the strip. It wasn't like right downtown. So it was, especially trying to find a Church of Christ in Las Vegas was hard. I mean,
there's not enough of you.
No,
You're not procreating enough.
they have
You know
plenty,
you still have time.
but
You're only 74, Cindy.
please don't talk about that because it gives me a chill up my left leg.
I think you could break her record.
Yeah, by 75. Then
No, I think it's 77 would be breaking her record. She's 76 when she had twins.
She was 76.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
right.
so.
Yeah, then I have
Plenty of time.
yeah,
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time to have those kids.
You probably forget when your like due date too is. You're like, oh man, is it this?
Is that what's bothering me? Oh yeah, I gotta go. Oh, they had those show.
Cindy, you can't drink 9 Cokes every day. You're caring for another child.
Oh, I loved when I could say I was eating for 2, 3, 4, 5, but it was shoot, I was going to tell you something about the Strip. You've been to Vegas, right?
When we went when I was like 12, so it didn't really count.
so-
We did a lot of road trips.
Man, they accost you as you're going down, the Strip.
I don't think we
They-
really walked anywhere. I think we stayed at like the Excalibur or something, and there was a show like with swords and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I remember there being an arcade, and that's about it. Like I don't think we really walked around.
But those people they're handing you these, pamphlets and flyers and
working.
things like that are so naughty.
Yeah, you should be
and
doing
so
that.
Children.
But with your church.
No, the church was that singing out there. Bringing in the sheaves, bringing
Yeah.
in the sheaves. We're trying to keep people from going into those naughty places, but it was so fun. And Cirque du Soleil, it was the first year they had Cirque du Soleil in Vegas, and so we saw it, and we all cried. It was Cindy and Christy and Samantha and I, and we started crying because the talent was so amazing. I couldn't. That's the way it hit me. It was like watching, Elvis or somebody, and you start crying when they start singing, and I don't know why that is. Why do girls do that? They just scream and cry. You've never done that watching someone, have you? Watching any kind of performance or an artist of any kind, you never cried, or
No.
it never hit you that way. The talent was so great. That talent was amazing. No, you didn't do that. Okay.
I wasn't high enough.
You weren't high.
Yeah, I wasn't high on life.
You weren't high on life. Now,
Now, most of the time when I go see a performance, 9 times out of 10, I'm uncomfortable because it's either like too hot or, I'm in line to get a drink and I'm like, let's hurry this up. Like it's very rare.
how fun you would be at a concert.
Well, I have
That's
fun during concerts, but I'm not crying.
I would take the kids down. Like we saw Journey, and big fan of Journey's.
Oh, I do want to let you know, Cindy, apparently Las Vegas is not allowed carts to be handed out in the street anymore. The city removed them because of all the litter.
How'd you find that out?
One of the listeners on Facebook, Andrew.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Andrew, you are so great. I keep wanting to have
Well,
you come back
apparently he
on the
goes to
show.
Vegas all the time because he knows all the
He
laws.
knows, yeah. But did you save any of those magazines they gave you before they stopped it?
See,
That's
you
good
could,
to know.
See, Cindy, you could create like an underground church movement there, and it's like, and try to make it like a club, where
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, you gotta you gotta know the password, and you have to like knock 4 times and then say the
Right.
password.
And they open the door and you're like,
yeah,
Satan sent
and
me.
you can call it the Kneeling Palace
The Kneeling
or
Palace.
the Kneeling Temple, and so people are like, oh, is that a strip club? And it's like, no, it's a church.
Well, they have all those chapels there for people to get married in.
No, I imagine Vegas being a very confusing place.
Yes. Go to the chapel.
Well, it's just chaos. There's lights everywhere.
It's always lit. I mean,
Yeah, that's
it's
what I'm
like
saying.
daytime.
I wouldn't be able to handle it. I'd be like, what's going on? Like when I went to Lake Charles, it was like there's just so much going on. I'm like, this is crazy. Where can I like be quiet? Like where's a quiet place I can gamble and just get a drink? And that doesn't exist there.
No.
And what I love is when you're winning, everyone's watching. Like, oh, I want to get on that slot.
Yeah.
Because there was literally a lady, like, I was just hanging out. I won some money. And my buddy was like, oh, you want to go check out? I was like, sure, whatever. And get up. And literally, right when I lifted my, like, first leg, the lady already grabbed the chair and was like, "This is my chair."
That's right.
It was pretty great.
And you warmed it for her.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's
She was
great.
like, "He was hot. I gotta ride that wave." There were so many interesting characters there, though.
But I need to tell Andrew, I keep asking, I want you to come on the show. And Richard's saying, no, he's too busy. He's working all the time. He can't do anything like that.
Well, I didn't want to tell you he hates you.
Uh-huh. You didn't want to tell me that he hated
Yeah.
me? Ooh.
I was kidding.
Richard?
Yeah.
See? He's just jealous because
But
I want you to come on the show.
but I made a brisket this weekend too. It was really good.
You made a brisket?
Yeah, it was really good. Let me show you a picture of it.
You took a picture of
Yeah,
the brisket?
Yeah, it's like my children.
You
Like this one came out okay. The last one I did, it was lost cause. Child sucks. Isn't that how it usually works? Like you only show the ones you're proud of, right?
Right. That's exactly. Oh my goodness.
Don't go left or right because there's some naughty pictures in there.
Don't. Oh,
Yeah.
why would you tell me that?
Because I can see you trying to look through my phone.
That's beautiful. You know,
Don't show people that.
can they see it?
That's not the camera we're using.
Oh.
What are you thinking?
Well, yeah. Can you see it?
That's a plate. Yeah, it's a plate of food. Look at that.
It really looks
Here,
good.
you're gonna break my phone.
I'm not going to break your phone.
Here.
Why would you think I would break?
Because I know you.
That's true. You're so smart.
You're the kind of person that would drop a phone not on the ground, but it would fall on something rolling, and that thing would take it somewhere and then go into like a drain, and then it'd be like then it falls into a drain. You're like, oh, I didn't know that was even possible. Like, how did it get over there?
There's no more drains. They don't have that
I
kind
don't know,
of
but
stuff.
you'd
That's
figure
like
it out. Like
movies.
it'd go into the vent up here. Like
I would not.
anything's possible on the Cindy Cochran show. That's for sure.
I'll tell you what. I don't know what this thing is that they put around my phone, but the phone I had before this.
I love how you say it like this phone magically showed up.
I don't know.
Like someone just I found this phone and whatever they put on it would work so well.
No, Sam knew I needed something this dynamic to save this poor phone because you never could see anything in the face of the phone because it was so cracked up. Because it always landed right like that.
Yeah.
And I cracked it.
You know, it's funny. What you should get. This reminds me. So we're at the casino. My buddy gave me like a belt clip, and I was like, "What is this belt clip for?" He's like, "Well, you have to enter this card, like to play the machine, or like you get points and stuff, like a membership points. But it's on like one of those key binding things." And I was like, "That's silly." And the first thing I did is get up and walk away, and I left the car, and it's like swink, and like, oh, I get it now. And
It's like when you're driving one of those.
yeah, so we need to get that for your phone. That just
Yes.
retracts back, and it's like, meow.
Bring me back to here.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I've left my phone here before, and
I believe it. Yeah, and I was like, great, now I got to deal with this.
yeah, now she's going to be calling her phone, and but you knew it was my phone immediately, right? Why? Because I had my picture there. My kids go, "Why do you put your picture on your phone? That's ridiculous." And I said, "It's so that people will recognize me if they see me."
Why don't you put like your email address on there and everything then, like a picture with your info on it? Like if you found this phone, call this number.
That's a good idea.
Sounds like you're losing your phone every day. So
Well, it is, and the Go Find Me thing. Is that hard to make? Put it on your phone. So
no. But for you, it's probably near impossible.
what would I have to have on my keys? Sam got this tie
Here we
wrap.
go. I feel like remember I told you like 4 years ago I should just start a school for older people.
Yes,
To like
I
learn
thought
the
it
new
was
tech.
Brilliant.
It's a brilliant idea.
It's brilliant. And those commercials on TV about the guy that's trying to, the kids that are acting like their parents,
Yeah.
they're trying to do those things. That's really funny. I mean, I love that.
Well,
that guy.
one thing I love too about like what you're showing me right now is a zip tie with a key. It's when you hang out with your friends and you're meeting new people.
Yeah.
So many older folks have they've learned so many things from their parents, and you're kind of like, where did that come from? Oh, my dad did that. And you're
Yes.
like, whoa, okay. It's kind of wild, but sure.
You're going to do the same thing.
Everyone's a little different. I love it. Those little things. Like, one of my favorite ones was one of my buddies. He would always have coffee grounds and pipe tobacco in a cup in his car.
Coffee grounds and
Yeah, like fresh coffee grounds,
Tobacco.
like beans and everything, and then fresh pipe tobacco
mixed together.
mixed together in his car.
Would
like
he smoke
open.
it or drink it?
No, it was just like, it's kind of like potpourri.
Oh, that was the smell he wanted.
That's the smelly one. I was like, what's this all about? And he's like, oh, my dad always had this because he smoked all the time in the car.
Uh-huh.
And this is like every week he'd get a new cup of this.
So I remember.
And so I was like, so are you smoking in your car? and, he's like, no, but it's just something that, like, it smells nice. So I don't get air fresheners. This is just what I do.
No, that's
I'm like,
I
what a
think that's
waste
so
of pipe tobacco.
sweet.
But pipe tobacco does smell pretty good.
Why would you say that? That it's just.
Do you ever
that's
you ever
really
smell pipe
sweet.
tobacco? You ever been to like a pipe place that actually has like shredded pipe leaves?
Yeah,
It smells really good.
yeah.
It smells really good. I dig it.
I like the smell of coffee. I cannot drink
Yeah.
coffee, but I like the smell of it. And I've never ever said I like tobacco and somebody smoking and the smell of that. Because back in the day, everybody had to. Oh, he is giving me a wind up. You always do that when I get to the best story. I'll have to try and remember
Well,
this.
tomorrow you're gonna have Brenna Donahoe on.
Brianna Donahoe is going to be in the house.
And then
It's
you're
gonna
not going to
so
be here
fun.
Thursday. Remember that, Cindy. Tell your audience you're not going to be here Thursday.
I'm not going to be here Thursday. I'm going to be here. I'll be here. No, because you're not going to be here. No, he won't be here Thursday.
Here we go.
And so there'll be no show Thursday. So, all right, what are you going to play? The
Do
one
whatever I want.
you could play this show, or you could play Brianna, and it's going to
We'll
be.
see how
fun with
good which
Brianna.
one's better.
which one you like better,
see
okay.
Which one's better.
Anyway, so
Thank you, Chris Wootton, Financial Group, for sponsoring today's program. If you're looking for any financial services like family planning and retirement planning, and I think he also does some tax stuff too, just visit WoottonFinancial.com. All the information is located in the description below.
thank you so much. I didn't have to.
Yeah, I know.
I
I know you're
just-
having trouble. You don't even know what day it is.
Today is Tuesday. You know what that means. I gotta have some fun today. Tomorrow is Brianna Donahoe. We're going to talk about how the Astros have had a big roller coaster, but they won last night, and that means they get back in first place. So I'm so excited. Now they're going to meet up with the Texas Rangers, and everybody's got to support them and watch them. And I'll tell you what I really want to say. I want to say thank you to our first responders. All the first responders, we love you so much. We respect you, admire you, and that all of the first responders. It could be a parent whose first response is to their kid. So you are a first responder. We love you, parents, and we think it's going to be a great year for you. I think you're going to have more power than you ever had before. Yes, sirree. Okay, all right, we'll see you tomorrow, and y'all join us 2 to 3 with Brianna Donahoe on the Cindy Cochran Show, Real Reality Radio.
Every week, people ask the same two questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these two questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, one-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process in helping their clients to a clearer financial future and to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran Show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wootton Financial Group, or any of their representatives.